I felt we needed to change the direction.
Right. So, and you set about this off your own back, didn't you?
Yeah, I spent 2020 getting the app all up and running, developed.
So that was your lockdown period?
That was my honeymoon period.
Yeah.
You know.
So, obviously there was a cost involved to getting the app up and running.
It was.
And you, from a conversation that we've had, you've not taken any corporate investment whatsoever?
I haven't taken no corporate investment, I've charged no subscriptions, I've done no crowdfunding. It's all funded by me and my wife, which are the directors of Taxi Now.
Right. But you've also converted the app into a co-op as well.
Into a cooperative, yeah. That was an extra fee, but we felt that was. I want the drivers to feel that it's not Tony's app or Taxi Now's app. It's a trades app, because I think we need a trades app. You know, we need to. Yellow badges are very important for the app as well. You know.
So you've only been driving a cab a little while. How long have you been driving a cab?
3 years.
So
yeah, 3 years.
It's a big undertaking to take on this sort of project.
It is.
And you've only been driving a cab for 3 years. You sound quite passionate about the cab trade.
Yeah, no, I was a cab driver's son. It means a lot to me, the cab trade. Even though I've only been a cabbie for 3 years, it means a lot. I care about it a lot. I do.
So I understand that you did a lot of the back-end database programming.
Yeah, I've done the back-end database for the app. I couldn't do the front end because that's not my speciality.
Yeah.
So I paid a developer, which we work with as well.
So you still got working with that.
Yeah,
it's always a bonus.
We've still got the relationship. The bits I can't do, obviously, he does. He looks over the stuff I do, and it's working well. It's working well.
Are you what charges are there involved?
So do you know what? I look at free now with 15% commission. I look at Get with 20%.
Yeah.
I look at Comcab at, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's about £48 a month. There's a subscription fee. There is a subscription fee. We've got Taxi App at £20. I don't want a driver to feel that they've actually got to pay to use what I'm calling a trade app. Yeah. So we've set the commission for the upkeep of the app, the maintenance, the hosting, the advertising, improvements at 1% per job. There's a 1.5 commission on each job. So it's 2.5 in total. But I always set out, so I think the biggest credit card provider in trade is CMT.
Yeah.
They're at 3.75 plus 20p, which let's round it up at 4%. So we're 1.5% cheaper than CMT. I felt if a driver gets an app job, they're not being penalised.
And you're 1/8 for the price you get.
I'm 1/8 for the price I get. You know, it's
and there's no charge if the driver's not doing any work on it.
No. Obviously, also if you pull up at a job and the customer doesn't turn up or they cancel after 5 minutes, you get a £5 scrub fee as well.
Oh, yeah. And to join the app, is there any joining fee or anything like that?
No.
And to be a member of the cooperative, there's no fee? Or?
You can download the app, register, wait to be approved.
Yeah.
You have to send a copy of your bill in. You can request your cooperative membership certificate as well.
Every single driver.
I want every green badge driver. I want every yellow badge driver. I might not get every green badge driver for whatever reason, but I would like everyone on the app, because if we're in the same direction, passenger downloads every single day.
And obviously it's going to take time to build this up, because it's a new app.
It's a new app.
It's got to get the word out there, and obviously you need the drivers to back it to promote it as well.
Yeah, so like no brand new app's going to come with a customer base.
Yeah.
You know, this is something that we're going to have to build. You know, unfortunately, we give Get 'em Free Now our customer base.
Yeah.
Whether it's through £5 download referral scheme, or £10, or liveries, you name it, we've done it. You know, so now, luckily, a few big garages have donated some taxis for us for our Superstar campaign.
Yeah.
We've got the flip seat stickers, we've got the window stickers, we've got receipt pads coming this week, and we all need to work together to generate a unity in the cab trade.
So I always like to keep these things quite short, but
of course you can.
obviously, from our point of view, it's a no-brainer to a driver to sign up on
It is
the
a
app.
no-brainer.
Yeah? But the elephant in the room with everybody is going to be, what do you get out of it?
Do you know what? If 2020 was the worst year, not just for the cab trade, but for the world financially, we've had a pandemic, we've had furlough, we've had no grants that have been very late, we've been 3 month behind furlough. It must be the worst time to spend thousands investing in a new app for our trade. You know, I don't want anything out of it. It's about watching.
I mean, you did more amount. Asked Tony before we started this, right? Money back, and he said, "I'm not bothered if I get my money back or not." And that's genuine. That's the question. What's in it for you personally?
Do you know what? I've only just got my badge 3 years ago. I've just renewed it. I've just stopped being a butt boy. March 18th this year.
3 times you've got to renew your badge before you stop being a butt boy.
You know,
you
so
should have seen that. You should have seen that. That's it.
You know, so I'm in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
I've only just got my badge really, so I haven't just done the knowledge to be here for 5 years. You know, I want this trade to be here for my next 30 years until I retire.
Yeah.
You know, if we carry on going down this rid of we need to get rid of free now.
So the name Taxi Now, was that a bit of a play on the free now sort of?
Do you know, it wasn't actually. It wasn't. You know.
You just thought, I want a taxi now.
If you've got Taxi out, you've got My Taxi, you've got Free Now. You know. Like my wife says, it's pretty to the point. I want a taxi and I want it now.
Yeah.
To be fair, you know. But it was
It's a good name.
I think it's worked out pretty well.
It's better than free now. It sounds like someone coming out of prison. Yeah. Anyway, Tony, thanks for popping in and having a chat with us.
Much appreciated, Jamie.
Good luck with the app. And as I say, I don't think it's a no-brainer for most drivers, or for every driver. You know, it don't cost you anything to sign up. Do you want to tell people how they can sign up before
Yes,
we go?
So you can follow us on Twitter at taxi__now.
Yeah.
Facebook, we've got our Facebook Taxi Now page.
Yeah.
On Instagram, we're at taxinow_PR.
Yeah.
You can also download the app from the App Store. Apple,
And it's on Android and Apple.
and Google.
Yeah. So there's all the ways, and we'll put all the links on Cab Chat for drivers if they want to sign up as well.
Perfect.
And so there you go. Good luck with it, Tony.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks very
so
much.
Cheers.
Right, so there you go. That was an interview with Tony Hoffman of Taxi Now.
Interesting. While he's on lockdown, while we was all on lockdown, he was sitting there.
Building on it.
Almost like I can imagine him stroking a white pussycat.
Why White Pussycat?
I don't know. Not like James Bond, you know, I mean, the evil. I think it's quite good.
Yeah.
Because I think, you know, I mean, not in a bad way. I'm just saying, yeah, what I'll do is I'll make out of that.
I'll make an app.
Yeah. And it's, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? I love it. I love it. I'm signing up. I ain't got a cab yet, but
Nor have I.
I know, but it's...
But he said you can sign up and put your old registration number in.
Yeah.
And then, like, update it when you go
yeah,
to the
of course. I think that's the what's it called? My card reader off cab app.
Yeah.
They sent me really quick, and obviously on that I've got all the old details on it. But
Yeah.
last time I sent me the card reader because, in fact, apparently currently they're doing sending them out to people who want them because there's is it ones running out or breaking down?
ISL.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they're sending them out free.
Yeah.
It's nice. Right.
Yeah, they have also asked those that are not coming back to driving a cab, if you have got a cab app device and you're not going
to send it.
can you send it back to them so they can send it out to a driver that wants to have one?
I've got my one which is malfunctioning to be brought back.
Yeah.
And I will go up to the offices and stick it through the letterbox.
Yeah, I haven't had a look at mine recently.
You might find it's not working. I think it might come up tamper something. I think if it's not used for so long, which I don't necessarily, because I haven't tampered with it.
Yeah, but yours hasn't been used for 4 years.
I know, that's the problem. Well, that was the problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine was used last year.
Yeah, it should be fine.
Yeah.
Should be fine.
So, Rosh update.
He's back out in the camp.
Why? It's still not picked up
I know.
fantastically yet. I know that he loves driving a cab, but he also loves driving trucks.
Yeah, well, I think it was a case of when the work really plummeted first on, he at least had something to fall back on. And so...
I think if I was in his position, though, I think I would have given it maybe another month or so before coming back.
I think so. I mean, I was...
you know, we've all got intentions of going back.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
it's when, you know, I think... so it's a really hard situation to get into where if you're doing another job, all right, all of us want to be driving a cab, and we don't want to be doing other jobs, but if you're doing another job and you want to go back to driving a cab, what you don't want to do is go back too early, get disheartened with it, and then end up not going, you know, finding something else and not going back at all.
Well, not just that, there's all the financial implications as well, which, because then you become dependent on what the cab earnings, as opposed to, it's all nice to be able to go.
So I think if I was in his position with what he was doing, and he seemed like he was really enjoying what he was doing, I think I may have given it another month or two before making the jump back into a cab.
Well, he's already we've retweeted his, most people probably follow him anyway. But yeah, I mean, he does talk about, you know, if it doesn't work out, then he can go back. You know?
Yeah.
So, you know,
He seems to have a good relationship with the company that he's working
they're up
for.
in Worcester, I think, somewhere like that.
Yeah, but the trucks are registered in Ireland.
This is the, it might be registered in Ireland, but when I see him driving, there's an English number plate.
Yeah, he's driven a few, some with Irish number plates, some with English number plates.
Yeah, see, that's the thing about, you know, the border in the north part of Ireland. It can be, you know, you can have advantages to one side of the road than the other. And I mean, it's literally roads, it's hedge roads, it's halfway down a road, it's the most bizarre, peculiar border I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. It's like the Belgian farmer, wasn't it, that moved the stone and made Belgium bigger and France smaller.
Absolutely. And this is exactly what it is. I mean, you go in one gate, you're in one part of this crazy European thing now, do you know what I mean? And then, you know, so there's some beneficial advantages for registering vehicles in one area, which, you know, the Uber gates are doing it, you know, they're all doing it. So, hey, listen.
So, allegedly, Free Now have set all account jobs, this is allegedly because it was reported by a driver, set all account jobs to electric vehicles. Now, what this means is, if an electric taxi is not available...
And this is free now.
Free now. If an electric taxi is not available, they will send the passenger an electric minicab. And apparently this has come from a passenger who was unhappy at the fact that she was sent an electric minicab because an electric taxi wasn't available at the time. She's complained to Free Now, apparently, saying that she doesn't want to use minicabs or private hire. She books a taxi because she wants to use a black cab.
If she was her preference, obviously, in her terms and conditions, would have been, if we can't send you an electric taxi, we will reserve the right to send you a conventional taxi.
Well, no, because Free Now has decided that they're going to send electric vehicles.
What, for all their customers?
Account customers, yeah.
Who want taxis?
Yeah, whether it's a taxi or a...
So if you've got a Mercedes or a TX4 or anything like that, you can't get work off Free Now.
You can't get account jobs as such.
Oh, account?
Yeah.
But surely this is the grey area.
What's an account job?
What is an account job? What's so it's all their work.
Yeah.
So it's not their work, you know, it is their work. You know,
which is even more reason for drivers to support initiatives like Taxi Now and Taxi App and things like that.
Yeah, because as I say, the minute Free Now took away the word taxi, taxi, and, you know, the whole,
taxi,
you know, once you start seeing the variation of the, you know, if it hasn't got the word taxi, it's not a taxi.
Free Now always reminds me of that McVicker film, you know.
Free when he's hiding behind the when he's broke out of Durham prison.
Yeah. That's what it reminds me of. It's like, I'm free now.
Free now, yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm out.
I'm still a villain. I'm still a villain.
But I'm free now.
Yeah, I'm still a villain, but I'm free. Yeah. Where he's sitting by the roadside waiting for his friends to come.
Yeah, that's
Behind
it.
him. Yeah.
That's the words of the song, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm good like that.
Yeah.
I'm up all week, you know. This shows you ain't thrown together, you know.
No,
I do put some input to it.
Yeah.
I do think about it. Think about it when I'm not to do it. Get down, doggy. Hello, mate. Look, what do you want to say? Do you want to say something? It's alright. One of Joe's dogs. Hello, mate. That's it.
That works well on radio, doesn't it? You
Well-
talk you to a dog.
Yeah, well, I've taught myself most of the time. He's such a lovely dog, but he's got really heavy paws, and when they're trying to jump up on you, it's a bit awkward. But yeah, so that's who people often probably wonder what this setup's like, isn't it?
Yeah. Not very big.
No, story of my life. But it's nice. He's got the dogs roaming around out the country. Today's the wettest day up here.
Yeah, you brought the rain with you today. It's not very nice.
In London, it's worse in actual fact. As I dropped down on Root Mill, it cleared up a bit because that's the highest point in Kent, isn't it?
Yeah.
So as I come down the M20,
Well, it's not actually. A place in Westram is the highest point in Kent.
Oh yeah, okay. I know the place well. By the spinning wheel, I know exactly. That's the other thing. Other than borders, I'm fascinated with high points.
Are you?
Yeah,
You're in one of the highest points in Kent here.
really.
523 feet above sea level you are here, apparently.
All right. Global warming, it might be seaside soon.
Yeah.
You know, because
Won't get flooded here.
I know it won't, no, but I'm just saying. But you listen to all
Might
the
become an island.
all doom and gloom, you know, it's all, you know, save the planet, you know.
Yeah.
But,
I think it's time to go over to our drum slayer and hear what his contribution is this week.
our Captain Birdseye,
Captain Birdseye,
Captain Kidd,
Uncle Albert.
you know, Pugwash, every, you know, what we need is one in, pardon with a board, secure, eternal, you know, drum slayer.
Yeah.
You know, drum slayer on board.
Yeah, the old bell from the old pirate ships.
Yeah.
Ding ding.
Yeah. Our very own Jack Black, Captain Jack Black.
Yeah.
Take it away.
And now, here's Drum Slayer.
Thanks, Jamie. Thanks, Mac. Hello, all. Welcome to this week's Weird World of Drum Slayer. You may remember a couple of weeks ago I told you about a dispute I was having with McAfee and PayPal, whereas PayPal took £75 out of my bank account without asking and gave it to McAfee, and another $14.99 out of my PayPal account and gave it to McAfee. Apparently it's $89.99 subscription for protection on my laptop. You may remember I said that I complained to PayPal and they would look into it on my behalf. So I opened what they call a dispute with McAfee, and they said they would contact McAfee, and if they do not hear within 10 days, they will make a judgment, which will be made on April the 28th. Well, I'm pleased to announce on April the 28th, the money was refunded, 75 back in my bank account and the $14.99 in the PayPal account. So be aware of these little, I'm going to call it scams, because you think you're subscribing to something as a one-off, when in reality it's more contractual. Yesterday, Tuesday the 11th of May, was a strange one, and if you're sitting comfortably with a cup of tea or a mug of Bovril, that should have been Bovril, but as I'm a bit of a bore, we'll call it maybe a glass of milk, or if you're so inclined, a joint. You need these beverages for sustenance, as I'm going to tell you, a true story. Here goes. Some weeks ago, I informed you that I'd met a Jewish Orthodox gentleman who wanted to buy my old cab. We swapped phone numbers and he said to me, in the last week of your cab's life, would you please contact me? Told you that. Well, I tried to contact Moshe, that's his name, not me taking the mick, and left a message on an answer phone. He never called back, he didn't return the call. I presumed that he was a bit of a time waster. So therefore, I took my cab to Stables garage where it was to wait for its destiny with the scrapyard. So yesterday afternoon I'm driving around listening to some very pleasant music, trying to spot that elusive being better known as a punter. All of a sudden my mobile goes, it's a number I don't recognise. Hello, Mark, how are you? Is that cab still available? Moisha, where have you been? I tried to call you last week, you didn't return me call. I'm sorry, Mark. I got a little bit of a message. I couldn't understand what you were saying. Then I lost your number, and now I found it, and I'm calling you, and I want to buy your cab. Moisha, I think you're a little bit late. The cab's in the garage, and any day now it's going to go to a scrapyard. Anyway, then we started to get interference on the phone, and Moisha said, Mark, can you ring me later? I said, will do. 6 p.m. that evening, I'm in Marylebone High Street, and I'm waiting for a pre-booking on Comcab. The lady comes up to me and says, excuse me, are you available? And I said, no, I'm sorry, I'm just waiting for someone to come out of that building. And she toddles off with her shopping. And all of a sudden, to my left on my screen, it says, cancelled, no reason for being cancelled. And like a jaguar, I think isn't that the fastest mammal on earth? I U-turn and bash down towards Devonshire Street, and I see her, and I get closer and closer and closer, and then her right hand goes up. She's hailing a cab, approaching from Devonshire Street. I look, his light is off, so I think, oh, okay, he's obviously not for hire, or has he just engaged his meter? She's to my right. I shout out, hello, my love, I'm here now. I'm ready for you. I can take you. She walks towards the cab, but I look over at the driver, and he gives me the look of daggers. Have I just committed the unforgivable crime in cab etiquette? Have I nicked a job? So I think I better talk to him and try and explain. So I come out of the cab, I go to his lovely TX4, and I say, look, I'm really sorry, but this lady and I have met previously about 20 seconds ago, and I can take her now, so thank you very much. And he replies, I've never heard anything so ridiculous. And as he says that, it goes through my mind, I've never seen anything so ridiculous. He then says to me, look at the state of you. I didn't know what he meant. Baseball cap, chiffon face mask, nice t-shirt, jeans. He's talking to me like I vomited all over myself. Or maybe he's ageist. Anyway, the lady gets in the cab. And by the way, if that driver does listen to Cab Chat, please accept my apologies. But when you listen to this story, you may very well be on my side. So I said to the lady, lovely to meet you again. That job I told you I had got cancelled. Where would you like to go? And she says, Stamford Hill. What a coincidence. I say to her, a couple of hours ago I was talking to somebody from Stamford Hill. Moisha, I won't say his surname. Do you know him? And she said, yes, I know of him. And me thinks, is this a sign from the Almighty? Am I being guided? Yeah, I've done the knowledge, so I don't need to be guided. So anyway, I'll tell her about Moisha, and he wants to buy the cab and the ins and outs of it and the wherefores. Get her to Stamford Hill, and she lives about 3 minutes from Moisha. So when she's gone, I phoned Moisha up and I said, "You're not going to believe this, I'm about 3 minutes from where you live. Shall I just pop round and we can have a chat and I can tell you what the situation is?" He says, "Yes, Mark, come over now. I can only give you maybe 5-10 minutes because I've got to take my daughter somewhere, but love to see you." So I go to Moisha's house. Keep our social distance. He's in the front door. I stay 2 meters apart and I tell him the score. And then he tells me, "You know, I said I wanted to buy it. Really, I'd like you to donate it to a disabled Jewish charity." Tried to explain to him that he'd missed the boat. I says, "Look, if you'd picked up the phone last week, I may very well have donated the cab because I'd rather see it go to a good cause than be scrapped." So Moisha says, "Well, where is it? Where is the cab? Let's go and get it." And I says, "The cab is in Peckham." "Peckham? Where's that? Where's Peckham?" Moisha, it's in Southeast 15, Southeast London. "How far from here?" "About 7-8 miles. "Is it a nice place, Peckham?" I says, "Well, I can vouch that they've probably never seen an Orthodox Jew down there, Moisha, but you will be slightly safer than you would be if you was in Palestine at the moment." So he says, "Give me their phone number. I'm going to phone them tomorrow. I'm going to get the cab." I said, "Moisha, find out first what it's going to cost to insure it." So instead of me trying to talk him into buying or having my old cab, I'm actually trying to talk him out of it. I said, one, road tax, £580. Insurance used to be quite fairly priced on decommissioned cabs, but now, since a few set alight, caught fire, the prices have gone up. And also in October, you've got your ULIS charges, which he replies, "Will it go to Bournemouth and back?" Anyway, him and his missus show me brochures of their disabled Jewish charity. He goes off to take his daughter somewhere. I stay another 5 minutes talking to his missus, and then I leave. This morning I speak to Stables by text, get their advice, and they, wise people, advise me to leave things as they are, because reasons are, firstly, yesterday I took the back tyres off it and put them on my new cab, because they're newer cab, because they're in better condition than the incumbents. I'm supposed to be taking the locks off to put on the newer cab because the ignition key doesn't open the luggage door. Apparently on that model of TX4 doesn't seem to work, so I'm going to have my old lock barrels put on the newer cab. So I'll have two keys, one for the ignition, the other one for all the locks. Taking the radio out for a spare, and in the luggage compartment I've got an occasion seat, which my good lady used to sit when we go out together, as I don't have a private car. Also, Glenn and Robert from Stables told me that in the past, when they have done good deeds and given cabs away for good purposes and charities, even though the people have got the cabs for nothing, they have complained because either it wouldn't do 90 mile an hour on the motorway, or it breaks down, or it leaves oil on their driveway. Therefore, I will have to let Moisha down and his esteemed charity. The old girl, the old cab, is destined to go to taxi heaven. And although Moisha and his fraternity have been waiting thousands of years for the Messiah, and the best they could get, Clapton Common on a Wednesday afternoon was Drumslayer, I'm sure all will be forgiven. And if you're any of you that are still awake after that, talk to you next week. Bye all.
Atlantic Star and Curious, and before that, our very own Uncle Albert and his contribution for this week.
Yep. So I reckon that's a story that's going to go on and on, because I don't think that bloke's going to take no for an answer. I reckon he's probably trying to because he's probably some money's rolled out his pocket.
Yeah.
And it's gone down the back of the seat.
Back of the seat, he wants to get it back.
Wants to get
his pound back.
All types of stereotypes. No,
just a joke. It's a bit of humour.
Yeah, that's
for all those that are going to condemn us for a bit of humour.
Yeah, people getting offended.
So TfL have been advertising cargo bikes, and of course these cargo bikes are electrically assisted, which makes them a motor vehicle.
Yes.
Which means you need a licence to drive them, means they should be insured, should be road tax, should be type approved. Obviously none of that applies.
Well, this is the thing,
and in the advert people are saying it's safer. I don't see the sitting in the front of a push bike is safer. And the guy who runs the company says it's safer because we go on quieter roads and you don't get as much air pollution. Hang on, you're sitting in the front of a bike on a road where cars are going past at the same level as cars' exhaust pipes, and he's saying that you're not going to get as much pollution as sitting in a motor vehicle.
I think of all the adverts I've ever seen in a long time, that should be reported to the advertising.
It reminds me of
so many false claims in that. I mean, how he says like you're less pollution than when you're sitting in a vehicle.
Yeah. Well, this reminds me of a woman that got in my cab many years ago when someone had been smoking there, and she in the days before. This is when TfL wouldn't allow you to stop people from smoking. You weren't allowed to say you couldn't smoke in a cab, and then all of a sudden they banned smoking in cabs. Yeah, but before that, we wasn't allowed to say we didn't want people smoking. We had to ask them politely, please refrain from.
Yeah, the advertisement wasn't. It was the advertisement. It was.
Thank you for not smoking.
Thank you for not smoking. It wasn't no smoking.
Yeah, it was thank you for not smoking.
If you had no smoking on,
you weren't allowed that.
You get stuck on for that. Do you know what I mean?
But then they changed it to so this was when people were allowed to smoke in taxis, and someone had been smoking in the cab. In actual fact, they actually got in with a cigarette, and I'd asked them to put it out.
Yeah.
And they had. So it wasn't that much. It was just a little bit of smell, probably off the person's clothes, maybe, or whatever. Yeah. And from where they extinguished the cigarette in the ashtray. But she felt that was polluting her lungs, and so she put the window down and had her head out the window all the way from Fleet Street to the Dorchester. And then when we got there, I didn't say anything until we got there, and I said, can I ask you a question? Why did you have your head up? Because of the cigarette smoke in the cab. I said, right. So you'd rather put your head out of the window and consume all of those diesel fumes across London, and you feel that that's better for you.
That would have been before the ULEZ.
Yeah, you feel that's better for you than the little bit of rescue cigarette smell that was in the cab.
Yeah.
And she said yes. This is a bit of an oxymoron, and the way that some of these people actually think.
This is what I'm saying. I mean, London has they say about pollution. You cut all these vehicles down, pollution, and you're not allowed in that section. You're not allowed in that section, and they'll have like every 30 seconds a plane flying over Richmond.
Yeah.
Or this where they've got these LTNs and they've got these planes.
It's like people flying in for Extinction Rebellion.
Yes, exactly.
To speak there.
Yeah, to say their bit.
What was it?
Emma Thompson.
Emma Thompson flying in to.
I think her dad used to do the magic. And that crack cocaine to watch that. Do you know what I mean? Bungle, Dylan, a dog, a cow. I remember it well.
Bring back roundabout.
It was like
all of them kids programs had innuendos in them, didn't they? Sort of Captain Pugwash and masturbate.
That's all. What's it called? Urban myths. No, that's actually true. No, if you look it up, I'm sure. But zipping, bungle, and no, that one's all No, there was good. There was some good stuff. Hey, listen, let's not go back too far. Nostalgia's not what it used to be. Let's get on with the show.
Get on with the show.
People say we're rambling.
So, vaccinations.
Yeah. Do you realise that more than
more than 13.7 million people, 67.8% of adults have had their first vaccination.
Yes, well done to them.
And more than 18.4 million, 35% of adults have had their second vaccination.
A lot of people.
Yeah, I had my second one on Saturday.
Good luck to you.
Yeah, and I had it 11:30 in the morning, and by 5:30 in the afternoon, I was completely wiped out
Yeah.
for 2 days.
Well, it's gene therapy. You're not getting any of the there's no vaccine.
There's no vitamins in it, is there? There's no
No, it's just changing your, which is allowed.
genetic makeup.
Which is allowed. Listen, I'm part of the controlled section that hasn't had it. And I'm alright. So,
Yeah,
you've
I'm
got... Listen, we have to have it. Listen, don't start condemning all these people who ain't having it. We're part of that controlled part of the experiment
That's what you say. Yeah.
that have not had it and has not contracted it.
Sometimes wish I hadn't had it.
No, listen, this is the thing, this is the exact same thing as Brexit. People go, I voted for Brexit. But now I'm thinking about it, I wish I hadn't. You know what I mean?
Do you know the only reason I'm not going to say which way I voted or not on Brexit, yeah? But
I'll tell you which way I did.
the only thing I think is it's taken so bloody long, yeah, and it's caused so much upset and division within the population, yeah?
Yeah, that will soon pass.
Was it really worth it?
Yeah, it'll soon pass. It will soon pass. Listen,
Says an Irishman, says a man with an Irish passport who's still part of Europe.
who can be bat and bowl. I can stand on one side of a rock and how you doing? And leg end all around and go to the other bit and be in County Cavan, Monaghan, anywhere around the border.
Yeah.
Donegal, Monaghan, Cavan. I can stand.
Someone who's still got freedom of movement around Europe.
It doesn't affect me. Listen, you lot wanted us.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's called the Common Travel Arrangement.
Well, the other thing I find quite ironic as well, though, is Nicola Sturgeon, Nicola Fish,
The ginger whinger.
with Ginger Whinger, old Jimmy Clanky.
And you jump up and say, eat ginger nuts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
And
fucking hate ginger nuts.
Listen, she's a lovely woman.
Yeah, Jimmy Clanky, yeah. But he keeps banging on about a Scottish referendum,
Yeah,
right? So he wants to take Scotland away from the UK,
The
right?
United Kingdom.
And then go back into Europe.
I know. But hey,
Let's get away from money union and go into another one.
well, it's
Why?
be controlled by somebody else.
Let's stop being controlled by Westminster and let's be controlled by Brussels.
Who's actually probably got less democratic,
Less democracy.
less accounted,
Less accountability.
less
And waste more money, actually. Because don't forget, they all move to Strasbourg once a year and then move back again to Brussels.
yeah, absolutely,
And that costs millions.
Their expenses, they haven't got to give receipts for their expenses, and just taking the money.
It's like a cash cow
But
for
then
politicians.
I see did you know, I was reading, and I'm done, did you say with grab market, you just mentioned
Did you say you can read?
Yes, I can.
Can you really?
Yeah, I can read written.
I never knew
I can
that.
read written work, but
Yeah.
obviously I do struggle with it. I can read, so there isn't a
I never
problem.
knew that.
It's obviously I get confused when it's
hidden for a long time.
yeah, it is. It's only the problem I get is when I look at a word and is it reading or is it reading?
Well, everyone gets confused by that, though.
That's what I'm saying. It's like certain, but no. Was the young Alexander, Heidi Alexander,
Yeah.
is
yeah.
now on the board of transport?
Well, she's deputy mayor for transport, isn't she?
Yeah, but there's some board devils. I was just looking at
She
it.
went out for a celebratory cycle ride around London to celebrate Sadiq Khan being re-elected. The only thing I can say about that is at least she wasn't breaking lockdown laws at the time, like she was last time.
Yeah, well, she went out with the family. And
Yeah, cycled around London doing the Monopoly board when basically he was only allowed out for exercise locally.
up the road and getting in. Yeah, well, this is called self-published.
It's called one rule from me and one rule for the rest of you, really.
I was looking at this board that they're on, and I'll have to look it up for next week's show, whatever it is. And I looked at the terms and conditions of them being on it, and obviously they've got, and obviously what gifts they've had and all that, and what
Yeah.
and